definitely advertising for Apple.
Which is why if you put it to one side, you'll advertise for Origins only.
So if I just have it,
If if you angle it away from, I don't know. You know? So it's like just that.
Hello, welcome to another episode of STS. Theme of today's show, competitions in 2016.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Let's do it.
A lot of them happening. But this is our show, so we're going to talk about ours first.
Okay.
And there's actually kind of a story here. I kind of want to tell the story of kind of how we've been doing things, because we don't typically like to announce things until we're actually going to do them.
Yeah.
Until the actions set in place are already happening. Therefore, we're not lying or promising things that aren't going to happen. So we kind of held off on this for a little bit. But Sport Parkour League, or a league for competitions, is something that I think people talked about for a while.
Yeah.
Like
we've been sort of talking about this idea for like 3 years at least.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, probably more than that, since the very first NAPC that we held. In, what was that, 2011? No, sorry, 2012, 2013. So one of those years.
13.
13,
Yes.
2013, yeah.
Math.
Cool, yeah, so we're finally getting around to doing a circuit now, and it's going to be around North America. We have some planned events right now, so we're having one in Vancouver. We're also having one in Boston at the Hub Parkour Training Center, which is one of the newest parkour gyms that have opened recently. And then we're working with Parkour Visions to put together a event down in Seattle. It's going to be an outdoor competition. It's going to be pretty interesting. I'm excited about that one. And then coming around to the NAPC in September, and that's again going to be here at Origins. So
Yeah. It's funny because the Seattle comp, we were just talking about this before we started recording here, and the Seattle comp, we started talking to them actually just at the end of the year.
November, I think.
Yeah, and I remember leading up to last year's NEPC, we were even talking about maybe we should try to reach out to gyms and announce the idea of a league or of a circuit leading up to NEPC for next year and announce that. And for whatever reason, we didn't really go through with that. But we kind of learned some things this year, because we did get some no's.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bother saying who or anything like that, but not every gym organization is really into doing our format. So this wasn't something that we could just make happen. It's funny because ever since we put up the post, I've had a couple of other gyms say that they're interested now in being part of it, which is awesome.
Even before we posted, I talked to a couple others. So basically, I think next year it's looking like we're going to have even more events, all over North America, and it's going to be more opportunities for people to compete if they're interested, and more opportunities for them to qualify to get into the big show, the NAPC.
Yeah.
So, cool.
So I think we were a little bit late on announcing. I think in hindsight we could have started talking about this earlier, but as of last week, most people knew about it. We're trying to get the word out there. Please try to get the word out there, even if you're competing. I know it means more competition for you, but please let people know, particularly if the event is happening in your city. I actually want to break down the number of qualifiers and kind of why we're doing it this way. So the first event, May 21st, is in Vancouver. You can qualify for a skill, speed, or style event, because we'll be doing all three events at that competition. So we'll be taking the top 3 men. So basically, if you podium, you qualify for NAPC. We'll be taking top one in both the men and women's division for speed, and then for style, we'll also be taking top men and women for the style comp.
I'm not sure if you mentioned, but the top 3 is for skill.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah. Cool.
Also, it's just to note, if you already podiumed last year, or the athletes that already podiumed last year, they automatically qualify. So if an athlete at the podium last year gets a ticket in. We're not doing top 6 or top 10 or anything from last year, but top 3, you're in for NAPC this year.
Do we want to call them out right now?
Yeah, well, we got to. most of them we already know
Okay,
about
cool,
it. But
they
if you
know.
want to list top
right.
3 skill.
Top 3 skill, we
Okay.
got Dylan, Brandon, and Daryl Stingley.
Yeah.
And then speed, we've got Dylan, Brandon, and
Nicholas.
Nick. And then style, we've got Zen, Dante, and Nate Weston.
Yeah.
So those guys are already pre-qualified, so they can just show up to
For
NAPC
those events.
For those events. They'll still have, if they're interested in doing the other events, they'll have to still show up to one of the qualifiers to compete and prove their worth.
All right. So the reason we're doing top 3 for skill is because in the Seattle event, we're not going to be doing a skill comp. Skill is actually one of the harder things for us to organize because it's the most structured of all the events we do. It has the most restrictions of all the events we do, and so it's hard for us to do like a video comp or something to
Year
to
after
bring in.
year, I think that it's the one that requires the most brainstorming and
Yeah.
the most thought and the most criticism of each other. Like I come up with an idea and Renee just shoots it right down. And then he'll same thing the other way around too.
We got a
so.
really funny doodle in the back right now.
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna be really cool, but okay. So June 18th in Boston at Hub Parkour Training Center. It's gonna be the Eastern Parkour Championships. Again, skill is gonna be top 3 for that one. So basically the only live competitions other than the on-site qualifiers of the NAPC, where you can qualify for skill, are going to be Vancouver and Boston. So top 3 for skill, top 2 male and top 1 female for speed, and then top 3 male for style and top 1 female for style. I already got some questions about why it's only one top, 1 women, 1 top for a lot of these. Last year we did only 3 females in speed and style. This year we're gonna most likely, it looks like we're gonna be doing 6, so we're doubling it. So we're doing better. But obviously we want to spread it out through the qualifiers. So we don't want to put all the females being qualified at one event. We want to try to get to the other regions as well. July 9th, Seattle Western Parkour Championships. This is an outdoor competition.
Yeah, it's at Waterfront Park in downtown Seattle. It's a really cool venue. It's going to be mostly built structures that are already there, and then we're going to bring in some extra stuff that the guys at Parkour Visions are on top of. They're putting together some of the equipment. We went down there a couple months ago and sort of scoped out the location. It's going to be a really cool event.
Yeah, so there's already a speed course planned out for there, which is going to be really awesome. We're taking the top 2 men from that, and then for freestyle, so this is only a speed and a style competition. For freestyle, we're taking the top 3 men. And then to be announced, we'll be doing video qualifiers. So a lot of people have been saying, I can't make it to any of these events. We will be doing video qualifiers for freestyle. We're taking the top 3 men and top 1 female from that. So we'll be announcing that soon when it's going to start and when the deadline will be. And then finally on September 2nd is the on-site qualifiers back here again in Vancouver. And we're taking top 3 for skill, the men's division, and top 3 for speed in the men's division, as well as top female in speed.
Yeah, so we're not the on-site qualifiers. We're actually not doing a freestyle qualifier for. And then the main event, of course, September 4th, North American Parkour Championships 2016. This will be the 4th time we're running this event. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Hopefully it shapes up to be even better than last year.
Yeah, there were a lot of things last year that went right, and there were a lot of things we need to work on. I think mainly we're trying to work on making it a tighter event, so making sure we get the live stream guys actually coming in a day early this time to set up. So It'll be a much tighter event, and hopefully there's no problems with
Yeah.
with that. But we'll see. We're
So
doing our best.
You can find all of this information online at sportparkourleague.com. All of the information's up there. Yeah, so check it out, and definitely make plans to make it to one of these events because it's going to be a really exciting time this year. 2016 is the year for parkour competition.
There's actually one thing on the site and on our information that we didn't announce yet, and that has to do with international qualifications again. We've had a couple of pretty notable guys interested in coming out, specifically to compete in speed or skill. So we have the international qualifier in video, so taking top 3 guys and top 1 female for video. But for speed, we will be doing some invites based on other speed competitions that have happened in other parts of the world. So if you want to get, I would say if you're not in North America and you can't make it to any of these events, and you want to qualify for speed specifically, make sure you're getting to events that are happening around you that are speed.
Yeah.
Like you need
If
to,
there are speed-oriented events that are happening near you, if you're in Europe or South America or wherever, try to get to one and do well, and then and contact us. Let us know. Let us know so that we can make our decision. We have a few ideas of who we're interested in inviting, so we'll see. If you're interested, go ahead and let us know.
Cool. Okay. Anything else on NAPC and the
Anything else about
qualifiers
us?
this year? Yeah. Anything else about us we need to? It feels like a very newsy portion. Of the
Yeah,
show.
I feel pretty good about what we've announced. So we can move on to talking about some of the other things that have happened.
Yeah. So recap over the weekend was the WFPF Parkour Pro-Am competition in Vegas. We did a whole episode where we talked about the format and some of the pros about the event, but mostly cons about particularly about the format and how the event was appearing to be shaped up to be. So far, a lot of positive feedback from people that were in it.
Yeah.
And I think that's just due to the fact that, hey, when you get a lot of talented people together, you're going to have fun.
Yeah.
Like people, not so much now, but I mean, when there was a lot of reservations about competitions, I think a lot of people didn't realize how much fun it can be just to get you know the talented people together and pushing themselves on the courses and everything.
Well, yeah, because it inevitably turns into a jam anyway.
And just that feeling of live too.
Yeah.
Of like the do or die segment. Well, not do or die, but
Yeah.
I mean that is what it is. I shouldn't have to be like,
It's
oh,
do or
we're not
die,
going to
yeah.
die, but it is. You know, that's a common phrase. Like when you're in a game situation or in a live situation, you either do something or you don't. You have to.
It's not like in
make it or
practice where
break
you
it.
have a million tries to get the thing, or even like when you're doing it on video or something like that. Like when the camera's on you, it's still pressure, but at least you have multiple tries to do it.
Yeah.
Unless like security's like about to kick you out, and then there's all like those kind of pressures, and that's actually a cool do or die moment that happens in parkour.
Yeah.
But typically it's it's happening in competition formats and yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. It's always exciting to go to these events, whether you agree with the format or not. And I think we both agree that we don't like the format, but it's still cool that these types of events are happening, and it gives athletes more opportunities to compete, more opportunities to potentially earn money, earn exposure, sponsorships. So those are all good things.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about some of the remaining bad things about?
No, I want
the
to talk
past
about
weekend?
Eric, and
Okay.
I thought that full in was pretty crazy.
Yes.
That huge dive Kong was nuts.
So, and we said this too. We said this like in the episode, leading up to the event, is that there's some dope guys on the list, and I'm sure they're gonna throw down.
Yeah, I said it before. The athletes will rise to the occasion in spite of the format, and that's exactly what happened. Bite, he put his full run out on social media, and that was a crazy run.
I felt he was the best competitor. The best,
he connected everything together. He made a run.
Yeah.
He made a line. Whereas and I think that's my biggest issue with the format. And actually, Joey Adrian made a post today about how that with such a large amount of time for the format, everyone's there's a lot of walking and resting in between doing moves, and not enough actually doing moves. And so you can fault the athlete for not being prepared for the competition, or you can fault the format for not providing a format that actually reflects what most athletes practice, right? I think you could make an argument for either one. I tend to argue that you shouldn't make a competition that athletes don't train for. You should make a competition that athletes do train for. But I think Joey's probably the only exception, the only person that I can think of that actually trains crazy hard, ridiculous moves for a really extended amount of time.
Maybe I said this about. I think it would be cool, for even the speed courses to have, an event where it's extra long speed courses for people that are into that. But no one's really into it right now.
Yeah.
So why should we?
There are people that are into it, but for the most part, most people just don't train it.
Not enough of them. It's not pushed as a sport. But I mean, if you start making events that are specifically that, then people start training for it. And I think that's what's happening with these competitions. Is it's so old. When was the Barclay card for running competition? Is that 2008, 2000, or before then?
I want to say 2009, but I might be mistaken.
Okay. Anyways, I feel like it was just a lifetime ago. Yeah. And that was the format then. Was 45 to 60 seconds to do whatever you can. I think it was a minute. I think it was 60 seconds, and it ends up just being you're not necessarily showing like what you would do in training, or the types of lines you want to put together, the types of moves you want to put together. You're just trying to fill the time and do as much as you can in that time to get a score, to get to show this is all I got.
Well, the issue I had with the watching, so I didn't watch like the whole live stream. I don't even know where it was or how long it was, but I tried to watch the clips that Jace put together, which I thought was really cool of him to do.
I watched the whole thing, and it was cool that he did that.
I thought it was really awesome that he did that, but one of the recurring like issue I had with it every time I watched like a run was athletes would come out hard and they would be throwing cool tricks and they'd be connecting things together for the most part, and then they would be like done doing like a lot of the hard tricks, and then you hear like Travis Wong say 30 seconds left, and I'm just like, oh no, like 30 seconds left and he's already done with like the big moves that he was going to do. Now he's like exhausted, breathing hard and walking around trying to find something else to do. That's not exciting to me to watch, and it actually gets not only boring, but I feel bad that because they're almost being encouraged to do more than they're capable of. Right. So yeah, as a spectator, and I think Joey Adrian, that's his post was trying to get across, was it's boring as a spectator to watch that, and as an athlete, like he said, you're gonna be rewarded if you're moving during that time. So like you should be training to be able to move during that time. I guess his argument was. I don't know.
I see such a simple solution to this. And I don't mean in terms of here's how you should do it.
Right.
I mean a simple solution for the athletes that have a problem with it and that don't like the format. I mean, if you like that format, if you think that's the way it should be, then okay. I think we've given a lot of clear reasons as to why it's not, particularly in like previous episodes, as to why putting such a massive time limit on something and trying to just get an athlete basically to do what they don't normally do in training is a bad idea. But if you have a problem with it, get together with the other athletes that you know are going to compete and make a statement. Like if all of a sudden there was a list of athletes saying, we're not going to compete at Red Bull this year unless they change the format. I'm pretty sure Red Bull would change the format because they don't have as good of a show. If like the top 6 guys from last year's competition say, we don't like this format anymore, we want a different format, and again, not even suggesting how to do it, just saying there needs to be a change, they would change it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
No, it won't because one person won't do it. But it's just a matter of getting numbers together because ultimately if you get enough top guys to have that standpoint to make a stand like that, it'll work. There was so much talk leading up to the WFPF comp that I would see from people on Facebook about getting together and let's go make the best of this and stuff. It's like, okay, sure, yeah, let's get together and make the best of it by telling the promoters that they can do a better job. What's wrong with that? How is that negative? How is that not a positive thing?
Yeah, I think it's funny that a lot of people were people were on both sides of the fence. I think some people were being really harsh towards WFPF. I don't know if people included us in that as being really harsh towards them, but I mean, we were definitely providing a lot of critical feedback that sure it could be interpreted as complaining or arguing for arguing sake or whatever, but it's I'm just recollecting when our first year NAPC, we got so much hate, and we didn't even get to do the event yet. We got so
much hate for the first one. I remember
critical feedback of just one after the other. And you know what? I didn't go online saying, "Oh, everyone's complaining and blah blah blah."
Yeah.
I didn't try to defend or anything like that. I was just you know what? I'm just gonna listen to all the hate. If there's anything of value that's critical, that, I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna try to work with it. Because at the end of the day, people that are critical of you, they're actually trying to help you. They're doing you a favor.
Yeah, again, there's a difference between being critical and being malicious. Although I feel like a lot of that was actually blatant hate on in a lot of ways. Some of the stuff, because there were people that were commenting who were just anti-competition.
Yeah.
That were just were going online and cursing at us or whatever.
The coolest thing for me is every year we've held the NAPC, we've gotten less and less of that.
Yeah.
And it's really been such a cool shift that's happened in the parkour community where people have just more or less accepted that, competition's here and there's still going to be people who are against it, but they're not as vocal about it anymore, and it's I don't know, it's really refreshing to see that change happen in such a short period of time. It's cool. Anyway.
Anything else about the WFPF competition that?
No, I don't. I still wasn't there for it. The live stream was basically non-existent, so it's really hard for me to comment anymore on it. But yeah, I mean, it's another event, and that's great. I think that's good for the sport. So.
I just wanted to give props to a couple of the athletes. We talked about Bite, and I always feel like I'm saying his name wrong, but talked about how he put a line together. But I just feel like he was so composed. He's so composed, more than anyone. It just looks like he knows how to compete.
Well, he's a real performer.
He's a veteran in competition too.
Yeah,
he's done so many.
I think he's a real performer, and he really knows how to have fun with it.
Yeah.
But he's also he made some really smart and creative decisions.
Yeah, he did a bunch of things that no one else can do.
Yeah.
On that in that competition.
That was really cool.
And obviously Eric just threw down he did the full in off the bar onto hard ground and landed it, which is nuts. I don't think anyone has done that in a competition on hard floor yet. And then the dive Kong was crazy, the exaggerated dive Kong. Zen's first pass, and actually Sean Higgins' first pass. Did you watch that one?
I watched Sean's. I didn't see Zen's.
Zen's first pass is ridiculous. Same with Sean. It really makes me happy when at least they found one really interesting thing that they could try to do.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it just seems they're filling the 60 seconds with oh, I gotta do more flips. Just run over here. Oh, I forgot I can do this one. Oh, I forgot I can do this one. But it's nice to see when they actually put something together and they do it at the start when they're fresh. So I really appreciated those two moments. So
Cool.
shout out to those guys. Go watch.
I really like Sean Higgins' stuff. I've been watching his like Instagram for a little while now, and always liking what he's posting, and it's cool to see him finally compete.
Yeah. I also gotta say, Lorena surprised me. Did you watch her run?
I saw parts of it. Yeah.
Okay. She surprised me in that some of the things she did, like she does like front over. It's not really like a big gap, but I mean, it's something I haven't seen her do before, where it's just basically like one box to the other. She does like front and then step out Webster. She tried to put together like some plyo lines. She didn't really make the connections on some of the things, like, but it's cool to see that the idea's there, and she is trying to put together lines that are fast, like descending with plyos and then finishing with a tumbling pass or something. Thought that was really cool. Just the vision that was there, even though it wasn't quite executed probably the way that she wanted to in most cases. But I think I don't know. I think it was Katie won, but
I didn't see her.
She didn't really do anything so. I think I'm biased to the style too that Lorena's trying to do, but I definitely favored more towards Lorena as best female for the competition. So even so, because she didn't get that title, if you can find her runs, definitely give it a watch, because I thought it was really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Enough about WFF.
Okay.
All right. So
Next.
other things happening this year, 2016, the year of parkour events and competitions. First, I want to mention about Beast Coast. Beast Coast is a big event every year. It looks like they're going to be putting together another massive park outside. I think, once again, I'm not going to be able to make it this year.
Yeah.
You?
No.
Okay. maybe if you got invited to the comp, then you would go. But
yeah. maybe if I got an invite to the comp, or as a coach.
As one of the guest teachers and stuff. But no love for us at this point. Maybe that's our fault. Maybe there was like a sign up that we missed. Anyways, we won't be at Beast Coast this year, but it looks like a sick event. A lot of big names coming out. They got Jesse Peveril, Foski, as far as international guys coming out. So, it looks like they're going to be...
Those are two of my favorite athletes.
Yeah, exactly. So, kind of bummer not being able to go. But, it looks like they're trying to make it bigger each year, which is awesome.
I heard some negative things about last year's. Like, the park was not built very sturdily. Is that a word, sturdily?
No.
It wasn't built very sturdy. So like there was a couple things that broke, and that's kind of concerning. And I've always, any kind of event you're putting together, if you're making a build, you need to make sure that the equipment is solid. It's like when Foski broke through the box at that event. I can't remember which event that was in Europe. It was a competition, but he broke through the box, and it's like, that's ridiculous to me, especially for like a competition at that level with that level of athlete. You're putting him at risk by not having a sturdy structure. But I mean, I think the one cool thing about Beast Coast is they've always taken like a lot of criticism, and they've improved on it, and they always take the criticism and they work on it.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, hopefully they're building some things a little bit stronger this year. Hopefully nobody gets hurt, and I don't know. Are they doing a fast contest?
They are doing a fast contest. So again, we talked about if you can't make it to our events, and particularly if you're an international guy, go to other speed comps, and we'll take notice.
Yeah.
So to speak. Now, there's no guarantee there that if you podium in their fast contest that you'll, because we still got to take a look at the format if it reflects ours at all. But we'll definitely be taking that into consideration. Also, I think just after that, I can't remember, I think it's maybe July 8th weekend is the Vigo Street Stunts.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And they have a speed contest.
Yeah.
So another thing that we'll definitely be looking at.
Yeah, that's in Spain, though.
Yeah.
So if you're in Europe, then try to make it to the Vigo Street Stunts.
Yeah. We want to. The whole thing about trying to have a circuit of events is that we've had problems in the past where people have wanted an invite to our event, and we're like, well, we don't know if you'll do that well. Like, honestly, we don't a lot of times with people. And we want to be fit. We want to be equal to everyone. So even if you are a big name at other North American competitions, like you won one 2 years ago or something, can't really take that into too much consideration and be fair to everyone. we might be making some exceptions for a couple of international guys this year, but for the main part, that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to make this like a real sport, and
You have to prove your worth at every level, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like if you for like the Olympics, you know, you don't get an invite into the Olympics.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get you have to go through a series of qualifying events to make it in. So, but we don't want people to waste their money. You know, come out to Vancouver and be a buster, right? So, so we are trying to give an opportunity for hopefully, you know, in your area, and do more regional events in the future, so that you know you can make the trip and know that you're going to be in the main event.
Cool.
Did I say that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
I think
cool.
so.
All right. Finally, one last thing we need to talk about, was just announced 2 days ago, is the Pro Freerun League.
Yep.
And I gotta say, I think both of us were kind of, at first, a little bit bummed about the announcement time, because we just announced that we're doing our circuit of events, and another big league is coming out. And they got some money. They're giving away $10,000 on Instagram and a bunch of other stuff. But not a whole lot. We got their website up here right now. I don't know if you want to read through this, but there's not a whole lot of details on here to really.
Well, so they're hosting a Instagram contest, so it's a video contest, and I guess they're giving away $10,000 to whoever wins it. It sounds like it's some kind of battle format. I wonder if it's going to be kind of like the Cali Duels thing that showed up on Facebook.
Oh, we got to talk about Cali Duels too.
We're talking about it right now. So Cali Duels is kind of this idea where like two athletes sort of battle it by just putting a line together. You know, they each put a line together and then
call someone out.
And then you can call somebody out, and then people vote on a poll to see who won. And so I wonder if the Pro Freerun League is going to use that format and try to put people against each other, and then make a voting system, and then like tournament style. And
yeah, there's not a whole lot of information.
I hope I didn't just like give them a better idea.
Well, I don't know. I actually hope Cali Duels becomes more of a thing. I think it was a really great idea that I'm sure. I don't know exactly who started that page, even though I'm on it, but. I think it just started as like a fun thing, and it's just kind of picking up to the point where there's over 300 members now on Cali Duels on Facebook, and it's really hard to follow now. So, I'm interested to see if that turns into anything, because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
And it's a really simple way to push each other and to have some
it's
some
friendly competition.
Yeah,
it's really good.
There you go.
So. Pro
Freerun League. Do you want to go through? We're on the website right now. Do you want to go through?
Well, it looks like so they're starting off with this Instagram contest, and it looks like they want to do actual events. But I don't know what the events are going to be like, or where they're going to be. It sounds like they want to do like a worldwide thing. They're trying to make it a world champion.
Well, we
thing.
know it's Jesse and Corey are behind this.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's another partner. There's no sponsors on here yet. I'm curious who's bankrolling this thing, because $10,000 is no joke. I mean, giving away $10,000 online, however, you don't have to hold an event. You don't have to put money into the event.
It's really easy to do.
We put well over that into NAPC each year. So again, it's.
But a lot of those costs go toward. We can't give all that to the athletes. You know,
No.
we a lot of those costs go towards putting the event together, and then, we try to pay the athletes the best we can.
Yeah, right now Wirgens puts a bunch of money into NEPC each year, and we end up cash negative so far every year. Hoping we break even this year maybe and get some more sponsors, but let's go. Our mission is to create a sustainable lifestyle for professional freerunning athletes while encouraging amateur athletes to follow their dreams. So, I mean, this is all awesome. Like I said, I wish they waited a bit in between announcing our league, because the whole hashtag "this is the league" thing is kind of okay. But I mean,
it's fine. They're just trying to be competitive.
No,
and,
this is all good. This is all good. There needs to be this for parkour. There needs to be multiple organizations doing multiple events and things, because it'll weed out the bad ones. That's the.
Yeah. It'll push the level, right? They're giving away $10,000. That just makes me want to get more money for athletes.
Yeah. So as folks that are trying to put together our own events, when this was announced, the first initial reaction was like, oh, we just, hopefully this doesn't overshadow our thing. But as far as like from a standpoint of just parkour in general, getting, or I think we said because this is a free running league.
Sorry, this is a free running league.
We're a parkour.
Ours is a sport parkour league.
But,
we include a style section.
Yeah.
But yeah, I call it it.
Yeah,
It's
parkour,
good for
free
it.
running. It's good for the growth of it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, if it's parkour, if it's free running, it's good for that. So a lot of really cool sounding promises here, I hope that it actually turns out to be what it is saying it's going to be.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know what BTE stands for.
Yeah, they got this so PFL and then BTE 2016. And no events listed yet. So this is again what we were talking about earlier in the episode today, where I wish we had announced our league earlier before we even had the events confirmed, because that's what we were waiting for. Is we were waiting for the waterfront competition in Seattle to give an okay. I had to, we had to send out emails to Hub and to Visions and be like, okay, we're going to announce soon. Like, is all this information correct? Are we good with it? And then, okay, now we can announce.
Well, we technically had the website up.
Yeah, we had Sport Parkour
for a year
last year. Yeah.
But yeah, we weren't announcing specifically that we were doing qualifying events and stuff like that until like very recently. But that's kind of been the plan since the beginning. So.
All right.
One really quick thing. So Tempest announced their new redone pro team, which I'm happy they're finally doing, because I think they just had a bunch of static, like a really static roster for a really long time. Like outdated roster of people who were kind of just not even involved in the team anymore.
Yeah, just like founding members.
Or not even founding members, just people who they just put on the team because at the time they were training, but they just, not really doing much with parkour anymore. But they announced Mish Todorovic.
I'm so happy for Mish.
Yeah, I was stoked for him.
Especially because it sounds like he might be able to make it to NAPC this year if someone's paying for his travel.
I hope so,
him.
Man.
Because he has no excuses.
He has no excuse now. But no, Mish is now a Tempest athlete. And the coolest thing about that for me is that Mish is, he's capable of flips and he's really talented in that respect. But he's like a big jump guy and like a speed course guy, and it's kind of like changing, it's adding that type of person to the Tempest roster is really cool, because it throws a little bit of a curveball into their mix, diversifying their team. I think that's really good.
Yeah.
And then they announced Alexander Bilionis, which is the young Greek guy. I think he's like 17 or something like that. So it's that's kind of cool. And then, Frosty's on the team, Lucy's on the team, and then they just announced today Bart, was he's another one of my favorite athletes. Yeah. So it's man, Tempest is really going big this year. So I'm curious who they're announcing next. If they're going to have any other cool people. So
yeah, I'd like to. I hope they come up with something about kind of what it means to be on the team and kind of what these. I feel like there's not enough of that. I remember we found out basically in kind of more of a private meeting, or what it wasn't supposed to be private, but basically that Take Flight sponsors people but pays them cash. Whereas a lot of people are saying, oh, I'm sponsored by this parkour free running brand or whatever, but maybe they just get a free pair of pants or something. What does sponsorship mean? What does it mean to be on a team? It'd be cool to know these things.
Yeah, I agree. Cool.
Anyway, to recap on today's episode, so please check out sportparkourleague.com. We got a list of events happening this year. Hopefully that breakdown helped for anyone that was confused. Also, if you are an international athlete looking to come out to NAPC this year, go to a speed comp, go to other competitions, reach out to us, let us know, and we'll try to work together to make that a possibility. What else? I
think that's good.
Don't check out any of the other competitions that we talked about. Just ours. Okay, we'll see you guys next week. You finish your coffee first for once.
Yep.
Excellent.
It's cold brew season. I like it.